excited, so call me back. Okay, love you. Bye.
What's up, you guys, and welcome back to Emotionally Online, the show for spilling guts and sharing secrets, hosted by yours truly, the one and only Maddie Drosbeck, inventor of sleepovers herself, baby. Don't let anyone ever tell you different. Right now, as I'm starting this episode, I'm like looking down at my feet and I'm realizing I'm not wearing socks, which I just feel traumatized by because I, a few episodes ago, was not wearing socks. And I was laying down in a bed with the camera at the foot. I was serving foot fetish that entire episode. Oh my God. Someone really had their way with that fucking footage. I don't know why I did that. It's like I'm not thinking about it, right? Because actually, I kind of hate when people are like, when you're just like existing on the internet with your feet out, as people do when I'm in my own fucking home, and there's someone in the comments like, for free? And I'm like, what do you mean for free? You're sexualizing my feet, you fucking freak. I'm in my living room. So there is a part of me that like gets annoyed when people are like, for free? And I'm like, fuck you, bitch. Fuck you. My feet are innocent. They are baby feet, okay? How dare you sexualize my footsies like that? My little piggies and dogs. Fuck you. But also, in the same vein, editing back that podcast episode with my dogs out like that, I was like, Jesus Christ, someone needed to tell me to put those bad boys away. What's going on? It like looked like I did it on purpose. It looked like I was playing to the foot fetishists of the world. I was laying down in a bed with my feet at the edge. And the camera was right there. Oh, it was just too much. It's like that. Now it looks like I'm playing to those people. Anyways, I don't think my feet are on camera, but they're definitely not in socks right now. I'm definitely just letting my feet raw dog the air, as you should in your own home, okay? Just walking around, feet on the ground. Anyways, welcome to the show. Welcome to the sleepover. We're in our little slumber bags. Oh my God. I can't believe I just said it again. Why do I keep saying that? Holy shit. I just said it again. That's like the third time that I've done that. What the fuck is a slumber bag? And why do I keep saying that? Holy shit. Sleeping bag. I think it's because I'm calling it a slumber party. And if I was calling it a sleepover, I would call it a sleeping bag. But because I'm using the word slumber, I immediately call it a slumber bag. And I hate it so much. But I guess we're in our fucking slumber bags. The universe is telling me we're in the slumber bags. And we're kicking our feet up. And we're going, hee hee. And we're telling each other secrets and stories, and we're having a great little time, and we're bonded and besties for life. And that's just exactly what's going on today in our slumber bags. What the fuck is going on with our NV3s? I actually never had an NV3, but for whatever reason, that phone just feels very reminiscent of like my middle school years, because all of my friends had NV3s. I had a BlackBerry because I was a fucking nerd. Also, we had like Sprint as our phone carrier when I was a kid, and Sprint didn't get any of the cool phones. Like, people had NV3s and chocolates, okay? And those were cool fucking phones. And I was out here with a BlackBerry doing God knows what as a 11-year-old with a BlackBerry. That is so funny. Like, objectively, an 11-year-old with a BlackBerry is fucking hilarious. I might not have been 11. I was probably 12 or 13. Anyways, just me hanging out at the sleepover, texting my crush on a BlackBerry. I'm fucking BBM. Not BBM. I've been feeling very reminiscent of the early 2000s, or not even the early 2000s. My childhood was like half early 2000s, half 2010s. My like favorite years of life to look back on are definitely like 2007 to 2012, or like, I guess you could say 2004 to 2012, but emphasis on like 2007, 2012. That's like all my favorite music and movies and like pop culture moments are in those years. And that was when I was in middle school and early high school. That was like that was when I had braces. I had braces during all of those years. Ooh, this is important data to indulge in here. It's like simultaneously the worst years because like middle school sucks. But like looking back on it, very nostalgic for those years of life. It's mostly because of like media that I feel nostalgic for it. But anyways, have been feeling extra nostalgic for those years this week because on July 10th, 2010, I made my first solo YouTube channel that I was making videos on. And I had YouTube channels before that with friends. I'd been making videos for years at that point. But July 10th, 2010 was when I, in my brain, became Maddie the YouTuber, where I started becoming the kid that every week I wanted to make a bunch of videos and put them out. I was on all these collab channels. Like YouTube videos became a regular part of my existence on July 10th, 2010. Which is crazy because that means that I have been doing this for half of my life now. I'm 26 and I've been doing this for 13 years. And that means half my life. From this point forward, more than half my life is being spent doing this, which is insane to me. Like, I think it's so cool and special that I randomly found something that I loved this much when I was a kid. I think that, I mean, there's so many special things about like this whole journey and like finding my creative footing and then like having this dream of being a YouTuber. And now 13 years later, that's literally exactly what I do. There's a lot of special moments in that for me, but I think I just love finding something that I loved so young and not realizing how special that was going to become. Because you don't know, right? Like in the moment, I had no idea of knowing that this thing was going to be something that stuck with me, that I really loved for a long period of time. Like it could have been, you know, just a fleeting interest of mine as a child. But making videos and the internet and YouTube specifically has always just been everything to me. And I've always thought it was interesting growing up how, like, you know, people have all these dreams of what they want to do and what they want to be. And I've talked about a few times how I think for a while I would say that I wanted to be a filmmaker or a director because it was an answer that satisfied more people. And it appeared to be like more, I don't know, like people just look higher upon those professions. So I was like, or I say I wanted to be an editor because editing has always been my favorite part. But the truth was always that I wanted to be a YouTuber. And I love YouTube. I love the internet. I love social media content. I think it is so special. I think there are so many fucking cool creators on the internet that are doing so many cool things, creating content that's like really fucking next level. And I love social media and the way that it connects people. And for every criticism I have of social media, because trust me, there's a lot of them, and I've talked about a lot of my criticisms of social media, there's so many more things that I love about it. And I'm just happy to be here. And I'm happy this is my job and that I live such a weird and cool life. I'm just very grateful for it. So to all of you that helped make this my profession, which if you're here, you did. My 13-year-old self is literally pissing and shitting right now because of you. So thank you so much from me and from her for doing this and letting me do the damn thing for 13 fucking years. That's crazy. In other news, I got my first thigh tattoo. And I am so excited about it. It is so sexy. It is so fun. I got the word romance tattooed on my upper thigh. And it sort of curves around my bikini line. And it is gorgeous. Gore fucking Jess. I'm so excited about it. Baby's First Sig did it, which I've been tattooed by them before. I have a tattoo on the back of my arm. There's no easy way for me to show you this. It says sweetness, sweetness, sweetness on the back of my arm, which they did 2 years ago. And then this one is, I mean, it's pretty big. It's actually a pretty big tattoo. Upper thigh says romance. And it is so hot. It is so hot. Like, I'll be the first to say it. It's fucking hot. And I was joking about how I wanted to get this tattoo because it adds to the ambiance of eating me out, which is true, it does. But there's something specifically, I mean, like any upper thigh tattoo would, right? We're adding to the ambiance, adding some decor to the room in which the magic happens. But there's something very specifically hot and so pleasing to my brain about having the word romance on my thigh and having that be part of the ambiance because it's the truth. You're in love with me and it's the truth, and I am casting spells on your ass right now, okay? You are drinking the fucking potion, bitch. And that's just the truth. You're in love with me and that's okay. Oh my God, my toes are getting in frame. I just saw them peek through the edge that way. That was a jump scale, mama. So thigh tattoo number 1 is complete. I've got a few other tattoos that I want to get before the end of the year. On my other thigh, I want to get my big crying during sex tattoo, which I've talked about. I found the artist that I want to do it, and now I'm just waiting until they have an opening so that I can get it done. But I think I want to wait a little bit because this thigh tattoo was kind of a bitch. Like at first, I was like, oh, this is so easy because I was on the outer thigh. Outer thigh, I felt like I could barely even feel it. I'm notoriously someone who likes the feeling of tattoos also, so this should mean a lot that I'm telling you this. Outside of my thigh, that half of the tattoo was totally fine, felt like nothing. When we got to the inner thigh, and a lot of the, there's a lot more saturation in the inner thigh because the O and the M are dragged out. That hurt like a bitch. It hurt so much. I was seeing fucking stars. There was a point towards the end of the tattoo where I was like, every time there would be like long bursts of tattooing without picking the needle up, I was laying there like, I don't even think I can breathe right now. I was like, it was really bad. It looks sick. It's so worth it. But that was the first tattoo where I was like, fuck. I don't know how much longer I could get that specific area tattooed. Granted, the inner part of the tattoo is very close to like my pubic area. So it is a very sensitive area in general, the upper thigh area, but particularly the inside portion of it. Like I get why I was losing my fucking mind about it. But now when I'm thinking about doing my other thigh, I'm like, okay, I might want to wait a little bit because that one hurt. Fucking hurt. And for the rest of the day after I got it done, I was like, I can't even walk because bending my leg hurt. But it didn't last. It was just the rest of the day that I felt like that. And the next day I was fine. I'm being a baby about it. But if I'm being a baby about it, that should tell you something. Because usually I'm not a baby about this kind of stuff. But it kind of fucking hurt. So we'll see. I also want to get my collarbones tattooed, which that will probably be the last one that I do this year. Because it feels like a big commitment to get my collarbones tattooed. I really want them done because I think it's going to look fucking sick. But I also feel very aware that my collarbones are like right. So people look at it every time they see me. So I need to make sure I'm getting them done precisely the way I want them to be done by someone that I trust. So we'll see. And then besides that, there's a few others. I booked an appointment for a flash tattoo next month. I'm getting a heart, like an organ, the heart organ on my arm, heart on your sleeve. It's just a flash tattoo. And I wasn't even thinking about that. I was just like, that's a sick drawing and I'm going to put it on my arm. So I guess it is a heart on my sleeve, but it's not that serious. But it's very me to just accidentally get a heart organ tattooed on my arm. It's not totally an accident because I know what I'm doing, but it wasn't planned that way. That's what I'm saying. And then I want to get a tattoo for Mango, which I always said that getting pet tattoos is cringe and weird. And maybe it is. Maybe it still is. I don't know. But now that I have Mango and I just feel like me and this fucking cat are bonded at the fucking brain, I want to get a tattoo for Mango, but I want it to be fucking sick. So my first idea that I've sort of abandoned at this point, because I don't know how I think it's a cool idea. I just don't know how I would like it on my body. But I wanted to get a cartoon portrait of Mango wearing the Britney Spears denim on denim moment. Because if you don't know, denim is Mango's favorite fabric. She loves and lives for it. If anyone comes over here wearing jeans, she's on their lap. If I take a denim jacket off and lay it on the couch, she's in that bitch, tearing it up. She loves denim. And I need to get her a denim jacket made because it's so sweet. But I thought it'd be so funny to get like Mango in the Britney Spears iconic denim on denim look tattooed, which I do think that's a cute idea. I don't know that I necessarily want it. So I think instead I kind of want to get a portrait of Mango and I gossiping in a martini glass, because I think that's funny. Like a big martini glass, and we are sitting inside the martini glass like it's a little pool, and we're just gossiping. Just me and my bestie gossiping. I just think it would be sweet. It's my fucking girl right there, okay? I want her tattooed on my body forever. And I feel like my question whenever I saw people with pet tattoos was always like, so what, are you just going to keep getting them for every pet you have throughout your life? First of all, Mango's immortal. So let's cross that off right away. Okay. It's her and only her. But also I'm like, I don't know if I ever will feel this connection with a pet again. Like if I ever adopted another pet, I'm sure I would have a connection with them and I would love them. That's not a question of mine. But I'm like, would it be like this? I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I think Mango's special. I think that she is one of one. And so I think I need to get a tattoo for her because I just don't think, I think that my relationship with Mango is special, okay? And I want it on my skin forever because I fucking love this cat. So we'll see. I'll probably do that sometime in the next year as well. I've got all these ideas. I'm feeling an urge to be tattooed again. It's been a while since I have gotten tattooed regularly, and I am just having a lot of urges. Lots of urges are going on this summer, okay? All right, let's get into some submissions, shall we? For those of you that don't know, there is a submission box for the show. I go through and I read some of your guys' submissions every episode. You guys can submit whatever you want. Your secrets, requests for advice, stories, tall tales. Are you the asshole? Is your friend the asshole? Anything you want. Anything you want to open up with at the sleepover. Floor is yours, babe. You can say anything you want to say in this box. And the only person that knows that you said it is me. And I'm not telling anybody, okay? I'm not saying shit. I'll just repeat your story anonymously on the podcast. So let's get into some submissions. Hello, Maddie. Thank you so much for your presence on the internet. It is lovely to enter this pixelated world and know that I can still find authenticity and honesty. How do you end a friendship? I had a negative experience with a friend where I was spoken to so out of pocket. Then shortly after, she was behaving as if the event never happened. I never thought someone who I considered a friend would even dare consider speaking to me like that. Now, I want to address this with my friend, but I have no true desire to continue the friendship. We weren't super close and her behavior made it such that I don't want to be closer. I would like to address how I was hurt and move on. I want her to understand why my behavior has changed towards her instead of just ghosting her. I have a friend who believes that closure only serves you if you actually want to continue a relationship with someone who has hurt you. So my question, how would you have this conversation addressing how you were hurt and how you don't wish to continue a close relationship? How do you end a friendship? It's a good question. And it's one that I'm not sure I have all the answers to because I'll be so real. I don't think I'm the best at ending friendships. I've only done it a few times in my life, and I don't think that I was very eloquent with any of them, to be so real. Obviously friendships come and go, and I think a lot of my younger friendships, people that I was friends with as a kid that I'm not friends with anymore, we just grew apart and it fizzled out, and there was never I was upset or they were upset. There was no fights. There was no, you just sort of grow apart from people, or you make other friends and they become the priority. And I think through a lot of life, that has been what has happened with myself and friends. It's not been big falling outs where I needed to end the friendship or someone else needed to end the friendship. It's more just like we've grown apart, we've gone different ways, we've become different people. But there are probably 2 instances in my life of me ending a friendship very deliberately. And I don't think that I was the best in either of those situations, looking back on it. I think it's easier said than done always, because there's really no eloquent way to end a friendship. It's hard because it's not like a relationship in the way where there's like predetermined like expectations for what your relationship entails. When you enter a relationship with someone, there's always like the threat, I guess, of breaking up on the table. That's always a possibility. But with friendships, that's not necessarily the case. Like, you don't enter friendships with the thought of like, oh, this could end someday. Like, you just think that we'll be friends on and on and on, over and over again, on a loop in this lifetime and the next. Maybe that's just me. But in my head, I'm like, when I'm friends with someone, I don't picture an end to the friendship ever in the same way that maybe I would a relationship, because it feels more expected that like, oh, relationships, you're only going to end up with one person in the end. Well, most of us, you're only going to end up with one person in the end. But with friends, it's like you can have so many of them at any given time. Maximum number of friends, always, all the time. Infinite. Right? So there's no real need to end a friendship unless, of course, something gets really toxic and awful, which I've been in those situations before. And I actually feel that I've been in a very similar situation to you, where I had a friend say really, really awful things to me. And they were things I tried to get past. And eventually I realized I couldn't. Yeah, I mean, I don't need to repeat them. I don't think that's necessary, but I get how you feel, where it's like a friend that is lashing out at you, taking their own shit out on you, and you're just sort of expected to take it and be there for them as their friend, but they are saying shit that is like totally unforgivable to you. That's how I felt. And I just felt like I was expected to sit in it and take it because they were going through a hard time. And I tried for months to repair that friendship and to like recover from the things that were said. Granted, we were very close, and through your own account, this is not someone you're super close with. So if I wasn't super close and they spoke to me like that, I wouldn't have given them all those months to try to fix the friendship. But I went through the process of trying to like forgive this person and work through it and get to a better place. But to be totally honest, through all the months that I tried to work on the friendship and make it better, I actually think it just got worse. And I wish that I had ended that friendship sooner. Looking back on that situation now, I don't know that I ever said point blank, I don't want to be your friend anymore. I think I set a lot of boundaries, and we got in lots of fights. The 6 months leading up to like the end of our friendship, the last time that we spoke, I felt like we had gotten in a lot of fights. I had set a lot of boundaries, and then we had sort of taken space away from each other. And then that space never stopped being space. And so the friendship ended, and there was never really a conversation on like, this is the end of our friendship. It was more like we got in all these fights. I had set a lot of boundaries that ended in us being like, okay, we need space from this. And then we never interacted with each other ever again after that. And I think in the moment, I didn't feel like there was a better way to go about it. It's not ghosting, because I think we both know why the friendship ended. It was very obvious why the friendship ended. We were fighting constantly. It's not a mystery why things didn't work out, but it wasn't like we sat down and were like, we're not going to be friends anymore, which I don't think that ever happens. You know, I don't think often people are like sitting down and like signing a severance contract. It's just sort of like, you get in a fight and you don't speak, or you set boundaries, you take space, and then you just never speak again, or you grow apart. I don't know if that's the best way to go about it. I think I handled it as best as I could at the time with the tools that I had. Was it the best that I could have done knowing what I know now? I don't think so. I think I probably could have been more delicate with it. I probably could have been clearer. I don't know, but maybe that's just me hoping or wishing that there could have been like a less painful ending to that friendship, but I don't know that there could have been. Like, I think that they would have been mad at me for ending that friendship no matter what. I think that I was always going to have to be the villain in their eyes because I don't think I could have gotten away with ending that friendship without being the villain, I'll be totally honest. And so I think I now look back on it and I have this wish that things could have ended smoother and that, like, we could have just moved on from being friends and be able to look back on our friendship fondly. But I don't even really feel like I can do that. I don't harbor any hatred towards this person, and I'll always have love for them in my heart, but it's hard. And I do wish it ended smoother than it did. And maybe it wasn't possible for it to. I don't know. I don't feel that I'm very good at it. I don't think I'm very good at ending friendships. It's not something that I ever want to do. It's like I felt forced to in this moment where it was like, we just cannot be friends anymore. We are not compatible as people. You have been so fucking mean to me and I just can't be around it anymore. I cannot do it. Anyways, all of that to say, I don't think I'm the best at ending friendships, but also who the fuck is? I think all you can do in these moments is be honest about what your boundaries are, where your boundaries are crossed, and what you are currently comfortable with in the moment. So if that means you are comfortable being their friend but want space or want a break, or if you are not comfortable being close to them at the current moment and you just want them to sort of take a step back and let you heal from what happened, I think either is fair. And I think that it's always it's better to say that you were hurt and to express your feelings than not at all. Obviously, in my situation, there was a lot of feelings being expressed. It just wasn't received well. So always be prepared for that possibility, because that is a possibility. But I think from where I sit, I would always rather say how I feel and have it go badly than not say anything, because I do think that, like, ghosting a friend is, like, one of the worst things that you can do. So I wish you luck. It's really hard ending a friendship with someone that is being really hurtful and just cruel to you. It's not fun and it's not easy and it's very uncomfortable and awkward. And I don't think any of us are good at it. I am definitely not. So sending you all of my love and support, because I would not want to be back in that position. So Godspeed. Hey, Maddie, I really love and appreciate the space you've created online for the soft romantic girlies. We thank you. Okay, so I'd all but given up on Hinge, haven't we all? But I matched with a guy who had a picture with a girl I know from school on his profile, which felt like a green flag to me. I don't know why. Turns out he was in the year above us at school. We just never noticed each other, and we got to chatting and ended up talking on the phone for an hour or two that same evening. There were loads of great green flags and a couple of amber ones. He messaged me after the call and recommended me this film that just felt a bit Joe Rogan-esque. So I asked him what he thought about Joe Rogan, and he started off a conversation in which he revealed he likes Joe, respects him for being authentic, thinks if anyone was recorded for as many hours as Joe Rogan, we'd all say some dumb stuff. And when I pulled out some of the sexist/racist shit he said he doesn't believe in white privilege, likes Jordan Peterson. And I didn't have the energy to convince him, so I just said, I feel like maybe we just don't align here, and called it a day. I'd love to know how much grace/energy you'd give if there were a lot of good stuff and green flags there, but there was this one negative. Do you argue the case for why these podcast bros are dangerous, or do you just accept you can't argue with someone who doesn't want to hear it? It feels like even the good guys love these creepy podcast bros so much. Okay, I'm telling you right now, the good guys do not love these creepy podcast bros so much. This guy sucks, and it sounds like a lot more than just one red flag. This sounds like a million really red flags. No. This is a no. This is a hard no. This is a big red flag. This is a fuck this guy. The red flag is not just, oh, he likes people like Joe Rogan and Jordan Peterson. That is a red flag, but within that there are a lot of other red flags, right? Because Joe Rogan is someone who continuously spreads vaccine misinformation on his podcast. Jordan Peterson's a fucking raging transphobe. Like there are all of these other red flags within both of these people, right? They're awful fucking people. So if you like people like that, if those are the people you are looking up to and listening to, if you align with the way they see the world, fuck you. Seriously, completely and truly from the bottom of my heart, fuck you. So in my opinion, if I was dating someone and they revealed this to me, that would be an immediate see you fucking later. You're blocked. That's just like, to me, the flags don't get redder, babe. And I don't think that there is any grace that needs to be given there. I don't believe in giving shitty people grace. I think we can give grace to good people that make mistakes, but I don't see racists and transphobes as good people. I see them as the fucking worst, and I hate them. And I love a lot of people that are very impacted by what people like that say. So I don't believe in giving grace or space to those people and their opinions. I think they're shitty. I think the people that support them are shitty. And that's that. I have very strong opinions about this shit. I don't make any sort of space for those dudes. I'm very much like, you like that? You're out. You're dead. Boo, boring, loser. I want to be with someone that carries the same set of values as I do. And I just think if those are the people you look up to, we do not value the same things. And that's that. And that's more than just one little red flag. That's a big towed truckload of red flags. So that's how I see it. That was maybe the most to the point answer I've ever given on this podcast. I've been studying at the library for a couple of weeks now, and there is this guy I see there every day, and since he first saw me, he has been looking at me a lot and giving smiles and all that, but he never approaches me or talks to me. To be honest, I got my hopes up a little bit because I thought he would try to get to know me, but it doesn't look like he's going to. I thought about making a move, but then I thought if he wanted to, he would. Boo! And isn't there also this thing with men wanting to pursue a woman? And also, I kind of don't want to run after a man who knows exactly where to find me, if you know what I mean. I would love to hear your opinion on that. Okay, here's what I'll say. First of all, I think the phrase, if he wanted to, he would, is used way too fucking liberally. I think there is a time and a place where a phrase like that applies. It does not always apply, though. You don't know this man. He's a stranger. It doesn't apply here. If he wanted to, he would cannot possibly apply when the person has no idea who you are, right? It's not a matter of if he wanted to, he would. He doesn't know you. There's no reason for him to want to, right? Beyond just being like, oh, you're cute. But men are allowed to be nervous the same way that you are. So if you're sitting there thinking, oh, he's cute, but I don't want to go up to him because I feel nervous, he could very well be feeling the exact same thing. In my opinion, I think if you think someone is cute and you're feeling something, it's worth making a move on. There have been times in my life where I have felt that way about people and I haven't made a move, and I don't know that I've ever regretted not making a move, but I've definitely always been like, it would have been more fun if I just went for it. If I just saw it and went for it. I think in my present day life, I am way quicker to just make moves and flirt with people and see what's up, see what's going on if I'm interested in someone, and it's way more interesting this way. I've definitely been rejected. I did a whole podcast on rejection last year. And I think that I'm happier living a life where I experience rejection, but I also am true to myself and how I feel. And I put myself out there when I am interested in someone versus never saying how I feel and waiting around for someone to pursue me all the time. That sounds miserable to me. I don't want to live a life where I'm constantly waiting around for a fucking man. That is dumb. If I like someone, if I think they're cool, if I have good things to say about them, then I'm going to tell them. If I think they're interesting, if I want to get to know them better, I will say it. I'm not going to wait around for someone to say that to me. I do not care. I'm not going to sit here and analyze like, oh, if he liked me, wouldn't he have done it? People don't do shit all the time for various reasons. Like, I can't control how someone else feels or what level of confidence someone else is at, but I know where I'm at. I know what I want, and I am happier easier to put myself out there and be true to myself than not do that. I think anything else is just overthinking. Just fucking do it. Like, who cares? It's a stranger at the end of the day. You might as well. And I think when we analyze things and we start doing the, oh, if he wanted to, he would. Don't men normally do this? Whatever. It's too much. It's overthinking, and you're blocking your own blessings. If you're interested, if you're thinking there could be a flirty vibe, if you're getting flirty vibes, then just go for it. Why not? What's the worst that could happen? I am very angry at how many subscription services there are, because when I convince myself that I want to watch a show, I'll get the free trial, and then all of a sudden I'm paying for a new subscription that I forgot that I even got. I don't know the username. I don't know the password. I don't know anything about how I acquired the subscription. I just know that I have it. I watched one show on it, and now I don't even know how to cancel it. That is until I discovered Rocket Money, which is coincidentally the sponsor of today's podcast. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills all in one place. Over 80% of people have subscriptions that they forgot about. Did you know that? I fall into that 80%. I've had a Peacock subscription. I don't even know what I watched on Peacock, you guys. Like, what? Is there anything on Peacock? Rocket Money will quickly and easily find all of your subscriptions, and with just the click of a button, will cancel them for you as well. Rocket Money also helps you manage your finances all in one place, and they automatically categorize your expenses. So that way you can easily track your budget in real time and immediately get alerted if anything looks off. Stop throwing your money away. Cancel those unwanted subscriptions and manage your money the easy way by going to rocketmoney.com/emotional. Again, that is rocketmoney.com/emotional to cancel all of those unwanted subscriptions and start managing your finances the easy way. We've got so much to chat through. I really need you to listen up. I don't know if you've heard. The word might not have gotten out yet. I can't be too sure. But the Islanders are back in the villa. However, they're now in two villas. Because this week is Casa Amor. Bum, 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 ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum. We're at fucking Casa Amor, bitch. This is my Super Bowl, okay? Listen the fuck up. We've made it to Casa, and shit is getting messy. This season is so fucking good. To those of you that don't watch Love Island, but do listen to this part of the show, first of all, God bless you. I don't know why you do, but I love that you do. Thank you for being here. And you should watch Love Island. But Casa Amor, to those of you that don't know, is week 5 of the show. They introduce a second villa, and they split the original villa up. They send all the girls or all the boys to the new villa. So we have the 6 boys in the main villa, and then the 6 girls in the other villa. And then they bring in 6 new girls for the guys and 6 new guys for the girls, give them 4 days, tempt them all to cheat, and then they have a big recoupling ceremony where you can see if they stayed loyal or they're going to bring in a new person to the villa. It is messy. It is peak reality TV. Whoever thought of Casa Amor, I will have sex with you. I'm telling you right now, offers on the table. If you were the great mind that came up with Casa Amor, you have an offer to redeem in Brooklyn, New York. Because this shit is crazy. And every season, I look forward to this. It is the best week of every Love Island season. And we've got a whole week of Casa Amor to talk about right now. Oh my God. Okay. Let's get the fuck into it. Holy shit. So, Casa fucking Amor. The girls go to the new villa, and the boys that are being brought in are Uzi, Zach, Cody, Lockham, Elam, and Ben. And Cody allegedly has a girlfriend on the outside. There was a post going around where his alleged girlfriend posted being like, a lot of you guys know that I've been in a serious relationship with Cody for like several months now, and he told me he was going on a business trip. Glad to find out this business trip is actually CASA AMOR. Go fuck yourself. Which, wild if true. That's crazy if it's true. The rest of the boys, Lockham, or no, his name is Locken, isn't it? I wrote M on all of my notes. I was convinced his name was Lockham for the entire week. And then when they got to the recoupling and they said, I heard Maya Jama, who's the host of Love Island, say Locken. I was like, Locken? I was calling the man Lockham all week. But Locken and Uzi are both cuties. Zach, Cody, Elam, Ben, whatever. Uzi and Locken are the hot ones in CASA AMOR. Night 1, Jess is cuddling with Zach, which I think is bold. Which I mean, I guess, I don't know. People will view cuddling in different ways. I personally think that's quite intimate. Night 1, she's cuddling with Zach. She's technically with Mitch in a friend couple right now, but she wants to be with Sammy. So I was like, bold moves, Jess. Bold fucking moves. Then the girls being brought in for the boys in the regular villa are Amber, Abby, Gabby, Danielle, Tink, and our 6th girly pop being brought in for CASA fucking more is Molly fucking Marsh. Molly, Queen Molly, who got eliminated last week at the fucking fire pit. We were all gobsmacked that Molly's going home. Well, they brought her back for CASA AMOR, bitch, because they needed to get that, oh my God, what's going on moment from Zach when he realizes that his ex, Molly, is now coming back in the villa, and she's been outside the villa for the last week, which means she's gotten to watch the show, and she has been watching what he's been doing with Katie. So we were like, ooh, what's going on? Molly's pissed. This we know. First thing they do is the raunchy race, which is the first challenge they always do in CASA AMOR, where the two villas are competing against each other, and the things are like the tallest boy in the villa should kiss the girl that he fancies the most, and then whichever villa completes it fastest gets the point, and then whichever villa gets the most points by the end of the challenge wins a party for that night, which that's my favorite, like, Love Island myth, I guess, is like when they're like, oh, you're gonna win a party, and then the party is like, we're gonna force you guys to do a dance montage for 5 minutes, and then we're gonna give you a half a glass more of Prosecco. Like, they don't get shit. Like, what the party probably is that they're just getting like half a glass more of alcohol, because I think it's the rule is that they only get 1 glass per night, I believe. And I think that if they get a party, I don't know that they get much more than that, or what it entails, because it doesn't ever look like that much different is going on between that party house and the non-party house. So it must just be the amount of alcohol they're allowed to consume or something. I don't really fucking know. So in the main villa, Amber starts to hit on Tyreek, who doesn't really seem that interested until she mentions that her dad used to play for Chelsea, which I believe is like a soccer thing. Football. Sorry. Here I am calling it soccer like a fucking American. Don't you forget, babes, I'm one of the Brits. When this show is going on, when the Love Island season is active, I am from Manchester. And that's it. I'm from London, babes, and you can't tell me otherwise. All right? When the Love Island season is going on, I am one of them Brits. All right? I am just as Brit as everyone else. All right? I like how you guys say you fancy someone. I think that's cute. He's got nice chat. I just like it. You guys have fun ways of describing life, okay? I'm team British people. I'm abandoning the Americans. While all of this is going on, Molly and Zach have their conversation where she's basically like, I'm mad at you, but I love you. And she asks him for reassurance and basically to like prove that he's still into her and that he wants her more than he wants Katie. And then he like tries to kiss her and she's like, I'm not going to kiss you. And she's like, you have to earn that. And then he starts pouting and asks why 100 times. And she's like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. And Zach is like, why? Oh, but why? And it's like, you know why. What? Shut up. That is such an ick. If I said no to anything intimate like that, cuddling, kissing, fucking, whatever it is, if I say no and you ask me why more than once, ick 5,000. You can ask why once. If you start going, but why? But why? Every single time I set a boundary, that is so, it's an ick. It's a turnoff. It's annoying. Then in the other villa with the original girls over at Casa Amor, Elam and Catherine are sort of vibing, which is a choice on Catherine's part. Cody then asks Jess to sleep with him tonight, and she says yes, sleep in the same bed. They end up cuddling, so now Jess has cuddled with Zach and Cody, which not that Sammy gives a fuck, right? Because Sammy probably doesn't even like Jess. But if I was Jess and I was like, Sammy, I don't think I would want to be cuddling with other men, but maybe I'm the dumbass here. I don't know. There's honestly at the beginning a lot of cuddling going on the girl side of things, and the boys aren't doing that much, which is usually the other way around, where the second the other people go in there, the boys start moving mad pipes. But that really wasn't the case this season. Tyreek, I've got my eye on you though. Beginning of the week, I was like, Tyreek is about to join the fucking club of all the awful men in Love Island history that have gone absolutely buckwild bonkers during Casa Amor, because for the week leading up, Tyreek was going on and on about how he misses the game and whatever else. Well, the game is here, bitch. Have at it. Catherine then kisses Elam outside of a challenge, which is wild because I feel like Scott is way cooler than Elam, but maybe she's seeing something that we're not seeing. I thought that was crazy though, because I feel like Scott actually likes Catherine as much as people in the villa were like, Scott's fake. I don't see what they're seeing personally. So Catherine kissing Elam is wild. And it almost feels to me like people have gotten in her head and convinced her that Scott doesn't like her, when I actually think that he does. And then, so in a shocking turn of events, I thought out of all the girls, Ella to me felt like the one whose head like no way was going to turn, because she's seemingly obsessed with Tyreek. However, Uzi is someone that Ella knew before Love Island. They're signed to the same modeling agency, and they've hung out before, they've flirted before, and there was like the possibility of them going on a date and giving it a try before Love Island. So then when Uzi gets brought in, Ella is like, oh my God, this is the guy that I've sort of had a thing for leading up to this. Like, if there was anyone that was going to turn my head in here, if there was anyone that I was going to be interested, it was going to be this guy. So then Ella starts to be like, well, I could get into Uzi. I'll be so real. I could get into the ooze. And they're like sitting on a couch talking, and Ella is literally staring at Uzi's lips as they're talking. And then he tries to kiss her, and she sort of swerves him. And she's like, I just need more time, which I think is a little funny because she was staring at his lips. Like, I was watching her being like, oh my God, Ella, what are you doing? I thought you were so into Tyreek. Why are you staring at this man's lips? And then he went in to kiss, and I was like, yep, that's the natural next step when someone's staring at your lips. And then she's like, no, it's too early, not yet. Which is also fair, but I was like, why are you staring at his lips then? Oh my God, girl, what the fuck? Then there's a truth or dare challenge thing that happens on the girls' side, where Catherine kisses Elam again, Uzi and Ella officially kiss, and then at the very end they do a twerk line, which is the most bizarre thing I've ever witnessed in my fucking life. And I can't get it out of my brain, but they were literally, all the girls were lined up against the like glass balcony that overlooks, like you can see the other villa in the distance. They were leaning on the glass balcony, like just grinding with the men behind them being like, CASA AMOR, CASA AMOR. And I was like, what is going on? That was so cringe. I felt like I was back in a high school cafeteria listening to Get Low. And I don't know. It was very bizarre. It's burned into my brain. It literally is all that I can think about. Over in the other villa, Mitch is getting on with Abby. He is such a love bomber. It is wild. Like everyone keeps being like, oh, like I'm so excited that Mitch has found someone. Mitch and Abby are getting along. I was like, that man could get along with a paper bag, okay? That man likes anything that breathes. He is a love bomber. He just finds his target and he love bombs. And he's like, you are the best. You were... A paper bag. A paper bag would be that man's type. All right? It doesn't take much for messy Mitch. Oh, then Sammy, this is where it starts to get good. Sammy is sort of interested in both Amber and Gabby. And he's been talking to both of them back and forth, and he really doesn't know what he feels, doesn't know what he's going to think. So he's talking to Tyreek, Scott, Montel over on the day beds, and Tyreek is basically like, well, the only way you're going to find out how you feel is if you make out with both of them. So he literally says, fuck Jess for now, bro, and just figure out who you like best. And Sammy, in the immediate aftermath, seems to like understand that this is bad advice, but then goes and does it anyways. So first he pulls Amber, and they're having weird, like he's clearly trying to kiss her, flirty chat, and they kiss. And then immediately after they kiss, Amber is like, you better not have kissed Gabby. And Sammy was like, oh, no, not yet. Or something like that. And it was like, what? And Amber was like, you better not pull her immediately after this and kiss her. And they're like joking about it. But it's like, Amber obviously, like, she has a sixth sense in knowing that that's exactly what's happening here and that he's about to pull Gabby and kiss her. So literally right after Amber is like, you better not be pulling Gabby to kiss her right now, what does Sammy do? Pull Gabby to fucking kiss her. And Gabby just witnessed him kissing Amber, and she's like audibly irritated with him and is like, you better just make a decision. Meanwhile, Mitch is sort of spying on Sammy for Amber and is like, oh, they're sitting close together, but their convo looks super dry. Gabby is so aware that he just kissed Amber, and now he kisses Gabby. This guy's a fucking loser. And then he says to Gabby that he's just trying to get some clarity, which is fucking rich for the amount of confusion these actions are about to cause the other women. And then Gabby is like, I mean, I just saw you kiss Amber, so I'm feeling a little bit mugged off. And it's like, this is what I don't understand, right? I don't understand why people convince themselves that it's going to be different for them. They see a man treat someone else some way, and then they're like, but I'm different. You're not different. You're not going to be different. It's never different. It's always the same, okay? Then Ty is talking to the boys, and he starts saying, we just are going to start treating it like a lad's holiday and making out with all of them. And I'm sitting here being like, so two things are going to happen. Either right now, he's telling us that he's about to cheat on Ella since they're like closed off. So technically it would be like some level of cheating. They're not together, but they are exclusive. So either he's telling us that he's like confirmed about to cheat on Ella, or he's telling us that he's comfortable getting the Jake from season 7 treatment, because that is exactly what's going on right now, where it's like, okay, you're either doing the cheating yourself, or you're going to spend the whole week during CASA playing nice guy and pretending like you're one of the good ones while encouraging all of the other boys to cheat. And when we get to movie night and your ass is exposed, you're going to look like the asshole. I also find it so interesting that in all the conversations that the boys are having with each other, the main reason they have towards one another for why they should explore other options or potentially cheat on their partners is you don't know what they're doing in the other villa. That is not a good reason to cheat on someone. Not that there would be a good reason. I mean, they're not actually in relationships. So this is Love Island speak that I'm doing right now. It's cheating in the Love Island universe. Wouldn't be in the real world. But if your only reason for pursuing another connection is you don't know what they're doing over there, you're doing like tit for tat basically, where you're like, oh, well, I don't know what she's doing over in the other villa, so just in case she's bringing home another guy, I'm going to make out with this girl and bring her back just in case, so I don't look like a fucking loser. I think that is like the dumbest way to live life, to live your life in fear of what's going to happen or how someone's going to make you look, so much so that you are not truthful to who you are and how you feel. You would rather act in ways that don't align with how you feel to avoid looking dumb if they bring someone else back. It's so stupid. It's like people will do anything to avoid vulnerability. It's astonishing, and I think you look dumber for that, if I'm being so totally honest with you. Then Ty starts encouraging Montel to kiss Tink, even though Montel has been pretty content with Leah the whole time that they've been in Casa, and it's just like, yeah, I am thinking of Leah, I have a good connection with Leah, whatever. And then Ty is like, but you should go kiss Tink. And then Montel is immediately like, okay, Captain Ty, and just like goes off and does it. Pulls Tink up to the terrace and kisses her. And I was like, what is going on? First of all, Montel and Ty, you will pay for your crimes against Leah, okay? You will fucking pay for it. Because Leah has truly done nothing up until this point. Nothing at all. And you were just like, oh, you're torturing this poor girl. Then in the other villa, we see Whitney and Locken starting to get cuddly with each other, and they end up kissing, which I actually really like them together and could potentially be rooting for them to win. We'll see how it goes, but that might be who I'm starting to push as we're, going towards the second half of the season here. Back in the other villa, back in the main villa, Sammy admits to kissing Gabby to Amber and tells Amber that he likes Gabby more, and she doesn't really seem fazed by this, even though she literally predicted it. Then in like the final minutes of that episode, we see like a confessional chat where Sammy is like, I told Amber that I like Gabby more, but I actually think I'm stupid and I like Amber more. I don't know what to think. And so at the end of the episode, I was like, this man needs a muzzle. What is going on? And then we make it to the recoupling, which I felt like happened so fast. I felt like they just got there, but the recoupling is happening, and let's get into it. So first we have Sammy and Whitney, who are totally single right now, so they have to pick first. Sammy ends up picking Amber, so fuck Gabby, I guess, and Whitney ends up picking Locken. Then we get into seeing the couples that are coming back and if they're staying loyal or not. So then first up we have Zach. Zach is paired up with Katie right now. He ends up picking Molly, bringing Molly back into the villa, and Katie comes back alone. Katie remained loyal to Zach, and I think that Katie handled herself like a fucking professional in that recoupling. She was basically like, good for you guys. Like I didn't feel a connection in Casa, so I wasn't going to bring back someone if I didn't feel anything. But like hats off to you. We were early days anyways. Handled like a fucking professional, Katie. Montel then sticks with Leah, and Leah sticks with him, which this causes a little bit of drama. Tink is like visibly mad that Montel didn't recouple with her, and she whispers so fake when he sits down with Leah, and then Maya Jama is like, so I sense some unsatisfaction from some of the Casa girls, like what's going on? And Tink was like, he's not gonna say it, but we had a night in bed that wasn't exactly PG, And I'm shocked that he's not picking me right now. And everyone's like, what's going on? A night in bed that wasn't exactly PG? What does that mean? And then Montel was like saying that nothing ever happened. And then Montel was like saying like it wasn't a difficult decision for him and he always knew he was going to pick Leah. He's an asshole. And Leah's being super sweet and polite. And she thanks Tink for being honest with her. And they keep it moving. I cannot wait for that conversation to happen later on, though. Then next up, we've got Scott, who stays loyal to Catherine. And Catherine comes back with Elam. So Catherine has decided that she wants to be with Elam over Scott, who has now remained loyal to her. And oof, that was a rough one. Because I don't know if we're missing something, but as an audience, I feel so confused where all the Scott hate is coming from, why Catherine is so mad at Scott, because I don't think Scott has done anything. I don't think he's done a single thing. But then Catherine comes in guns blazing, and Scott was like hurt, obviously, because he's like, what the fuck? Like, I really like you and I just stayed loyal to you. And right before they left, there was that drama at the fire pit where Scott had to round everyone up and basically fight with them and be like, no, I do genuinely like Catherine, and how dare you make her feel bad and make her feel like I don't like her. So at the recoupling, when Catherine comes back with Elam, Scott is like, maybe some of the opinions at the fire pit the other day were aimed at the wrong person. And Catherine gets pissed at that. But like, is he wrong? Is that an unfair thing for him to say? Because he was getting like totally bombarded at the fire pit with everyone telling him that he was fake and that he didn't actually like Catherine. And now he feels like sort of vindicated. And he's like, well, clearly I liked her because I stayed loyal to her, but she didn't stay loyal to me. So perhaps all of your guys' jabs should have been aimed at someone else. Then we get to Mitch, who picks Abby, and Jess comes back alone. I was kind of shocked by this. I thought that she was going to for sure bring back one of the CASA guys just because she's not paired up with Sammy right now. So it was like she would have nothing to lose if she did bring someone back, because it's not like she knew that Mitch was going to couple up with someone. She's in a friendship couple right now. So that was interesting. And then we get to the very last recoupling, which is Tyreek and Ella. Tyreek stays loyal to Ella, and Ella brings back Uzi. I was like, holy shit, this is fucking good. This is so fucking good. Everything that's happening right now is so fucking good. I have not been a fan of Ty this entire season. I think he's like such a textbook fuckboy, and not to be a fucking hater that believes in revenge, but I'm just so positive that there are several women out there somewhere in the UK that have been wronged by Tyreek at some point in their lives, and they're watching this show fucking giggling and cackling right now. And I stand with those women, okay? I support and I stand with those mystery fucking women sitting at home in their living rooms with their girlies, fucking scream laughing at the television, watching Tyreek have his heart broken. Okay? Oh my God, I was feeling so many things. Because listen, I don't like Ty. I don't. I think he's an asshole, and I think that he has been this whole season. This was so funny to me to see a guy like that get his comeuppance. I believe in karma, and I believe that man has done enough fuckboy behavior in his lifetime for this to make sense, and for some women in the UK to be sitting at home going, absolutely, this man deserves that, and giggling and cackling. And I wish I was in those group chats so badly. You have no fucking clue. And then like Ty is so visibly hurt and is so pissed and is like immediately closed off to Ella and is like, well, this is it. Like, this is done then. And Ella was like, well, I just want you to know that like this isn't over for me. And Ty was like, well, fuck you. It's over for me. Like, what do you think, we can move on from this? I was like, this is how villains are made. Okay. This is Ty's Joker moment. He's not recovering from this. I was like, we are witnessing someone in real time be converted to the villain for the rest of their lives, okay? There is, at no point is Ty going to recover from this emotionally. And listen, as much as I don't like Ty, and I hate to say this, I hate to be the defender of men, especially a man that I don't like, but he is not in the wrong here. He is right to be mad. He is right to be pissed off. I understand why he would never want to speak to Ella ever again. He's not wrong for any of it. And then he's talking to somebody else later on around the fire pit where they're like being like, oh, Ty, you should give Ella a chance. Like, she really loves you. Give her another chance. And Ty is like, we were closed off. What's the point in being closed off if you're not going to be closed off? And everyone else was like, oh, well, she let you explore when other girls came in earlier on. And he was like, we weren't closed off. Like, that was when we were open. Now we are closed off. We closed things off purposefully. And she still went and did this. So what is the point of being closed off? What is the point in being with her if it means nothing? And I was like, fair fucking point. Listen, I don't like the guy, but he's not wrong. He's totally in the right in this situation. Now, am I rooting for his downfall? Maybe, okay, because it's good television. But is he in the wrong in this particular situation? No. So, I don't know. He is such a confusing and conflicting Islander for me because on the one hand, I do not like him and I'm not rooting for him. But on the other hand, it's hard not to root for him. Art texted me and was like, Ty might be the Ekin-Su of this season, which is a controversial thing to say, but also I get it. He is what's making this season so good. Like, he's not Ekin-Su in like all the same ways that Ekin-Su is Ekin-Su, but like Ty is our Ekin-Su in the way that Ty is making this season like fucking messy and incredible. He was stirring the fucking pot in more ways than one. He is the drama. And maybe I do like Ty. I don't know. He's our Ekin-Su. He is our Ekin-Su, okay? We've discovered it. Ty is the Ekin-Su of this season. Then Catherine is going on, like, so mad about what Scott said around the fire pit. And I'm still, like, so confused here about how Catherine thinks that she's in the right and how no one is calling her on it. I'm like, what are we not seeing? Did we miss something? Because why does everyone hate Scott? Why is everyone being so mean to him? And why is everyone just like going along with Catherine being like, Scott's like a raging asshole? When I don't feel like Scott has done literally anything besides be loyal to Catherine. And Catherine has made him look like a dumbass for that. And somehow she's mad? I don't get it. I am very confused. And then Montel and Leah have a chat and he tells Leah like nothing happened. This like night they had in bed that wasn't PG, like literally nothing happened, which I just don't believe. So I'm astounded that Leah appears to buy this story because I think it makes no sense. But go off, Montel. And I'm like so for sure that the producers are going to send those girls back into the villa like they have done in other seasons to like have a lunch with the other girls. So I'm sure that we'll hear the story from Tank if there actually was something to talk about there. Then all of the single Islanders get sent off for drinks. So it's Ty, Katie, Scott, and Jess. Ty then starts flirting with Katie and Ella's like losing it. Ty is not like actually moving on Katie. He's just flirting with her because he thinks it's fun, and Katie is aware that that's the situation as well. And like honestly, Ty can move however he wants right now. Ella was the one that betrayed him, so he can do whatever he wants. And like, how dare you make me defend a man like this, Ella? How dare you make me do this? And Catherine, you too. How dare you make me defend two men like this today on the week of CASA AMOR on my Super Bowl? You make me defend men. Oh my God. Catherine's still yelling at Scott because he's somehow in the wrong here because he stayed single and didn't make a connection. In her mind, She's mad because she thinks the only reason he stayed single is because he didn't make a connection and not because he was waiting for her, which I think is weird because that's a big accusation to be like, the only reason you are single is not because you want to be with me. It's because you didn't meet anyone else that you connected with in CASA. And he's like, no, I did. There were other options for me in CASA. I could have gone for any of those girls, but I didn't because I want to be with you. I like you. And she's like, no, you don't. And I'm like, so what's going on here? Because he's telling you one thing and you're like, no, the only reason you are single, the only reason you came back single is not because of me. It's because of you. I don't know. Where is she getting this from? What are we not seeing that is helping her draw these conclusions? Is it truly out of nowhere the way the producers and editors are making it seem? I don't know. Then Jess starts to get pissed that Sammy isn't choosing between her and Amber. And Jess is like, when is this going to end? You keep putting me in all these triangles and like I'm over and done with it, which is fair. But also, like, you don't need to still stick with him. Why are you giving him more chances? Like, if you want someone to be all about you and to be like, Jess, which I think that anybody deserves that, to have someone's full attention, to have someone to be like excited and want them. If you are done with the flirtationships and the triangles and like all of that, if that's not fun and mysterious to you anymore, you are allowed to at any point say, I'm done with the games. I'm done with all these, you know, whatever. I want to like actually be with you or not be with you. It's like yes or no. That's fair. And you can do that. You don't need to keep being like, oh, but Sammy, like the man's a loser. Like, I don't know if he's going to change. I'll be so real, Jess. I don't know if it's worth it. There's more like Ty flirting with Katie stuff, like playing with her hair, being cuddly on the beanbags, and Ty and Ella end up fighting, and they do end up resolving it, and they're like fully making up and going to work through all that's happened. I swear it's because Ty's got the $50K on his mind. I swear Ty was sitting in that beanbag being like, I'm more likely to win the $50K if I stick with Ella, since we've been together at the start. And now we've got like this drama arc that's going up and down. I feel like he knows what he's doing. And I think he's got that $50K on his mind. I don't know if I believe that he's like fully recovered from his Joker moment. I feel like we witnessed something very dark-sided during that recoupling ceremony, okay? That man had his heart broken on live TV. It's not live. It's close to live, though. Only a few days delayed. Then, at the end of the week, Uzi starts making, like, light moves on Katie, which I actually think they would be cute together. I'm interested to see if that goes anywhere. And Zach and Molly go to the hideaway, which the only thought that I had there was just that men need to start wearing lingerie. Why do men not wear lingerie? Like, why is it that it's, like, sexy time, and then they go to the hideaway, and there's, like, a closet full of lingerie for women, which I love. I love dressing up in a sexy little costume. Harnesses, tie me up, do whatever the fuck. It's so fun. It's theater, mama. I love it. But why can't men also do that? I want men to be in costumes for sex. I want men in leather and lace. I would look at a man in a lace thong, and I wouldn't be mad about it. It doesn't necessarily need to be like women's lingerie for men, though. Like, we could make sexy lingerie for men. There is. What do you mean we should? There is sexy lingerie for men. Not nearly as many options as there is for women, but like Love Island could set up a sexy clothes closet for men too. In general, I do think that men should lean into that. I think it would be fun. Is it not? Just a little bit of theater, a little bit of drama. I love and live for it. Anyways, that's some food for thought to end this podcast on, because that is the end of our week at CASA AMOR. And next week is when movie night happens, and we get to watch clips of all the drama happening, and everyone can see all the things that they missed, and more fights can start. I love this show. I love the shit stirring. I love it all. There's just nothing better to me. It's summertime vibes. and it's a wet hot summer and we're in the villa and we're having a good old fucking time. There is podcast merch still available. We had some additional sizes, some stock replenishing come through, so there is more stock available in some of the sizes that were previously sold out. So if you couldn't get your size before, check it again. There could be some additional product that was added to your size. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at @MettyDrossback to keep up with me and my life in between episodes. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you next week.